Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Hello.
Hey, neighborinos.
Hey. See how quiet it is? You know why? Two
Because
people.
we all like each other.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Whoa.
it.
What are you saying, Jaron? Whoa,
There's
whoa,
no, there's
whoa.
no.
What are
there's
you
no,
reading into that? It was a
Shots-
positive statement.
Shots
There's no-
fired. Shots
There's no.
fired.
There's no Lando. There's no James here today.
Yeah, they got better
We
stuff
tried.
to do.
I tried to Beetlejuice James. I did summon him 3 times, but to no avail.
Doesn't work anymore. Not even that.
No, he must be dead.
Or an AI. I
right.
think he might be an AI.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Pretty much. This is the Geek Show Helpdesk, where we talk about tech gadgets and sciencey, fun, cool things. Let's introduce our panelists. We'll kick it off. Well, let's just go top down. Right here in the prime spot, we got Owen.
Hey, I'm number 1 in this triad.
Spot.
Top left.
Upper
baby.
left hand.
Follow me on X and Blue Sky at Technoan.
There you go. Top number 2 spot, it's Jaron.
Hey, this is Jaron. You can find me on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter at Jaron. And we have a host down below. He
that's
likes it on
me.
the bottom. Tony.
Supporting the whole thing. Supporting the whole.
Hold it up. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony or on Blue Sky at QuadT or on other Geek Show podcasts. Let's see. Do we have any emails?
Yeah, we got one email from our favorite listener, Twyman.
Hey, Twyman.
Twyman. Good to hear from Twyman.
Yeah, he says, not laying. Hello, Help Desk. First-time listener, long-time caller here with a question for the panel. I'm looking to add 2
I see what you
Bluetooth
did
wireless
there.
speakers. Yeah, I'm looking to add 2 Bluetooth wireless speakers to my camp trailer to improve my movie watching experience. I found some sets that are active-passive, where one speaker has the power and Bluetooth module in it, while the second passive speaker has to be connected to the first via speaker wire. I'm hoping there is something out there that's active-active, where both speakers have Bluetooth and don't require cabling between each other. Maybe a setup where the cabling is replaced by Bluetooth to each other, if such a thing exists. Reason being, I already have power in the 2 locations where I want the speakers, and I'm hoping to avoid having to run my other wiring. Thoughts? Bonus points to the speakers can be powered by 12-volt DC, but I can work around that if only AC power options are available. Lastly, I want to say thanks to Tony, Jaron, Owen, James, Uncle Squinky, Simon the Cat, and anyone else I'm forgetting who contribute to make the podcast great. Twyman.
Oh,
Feels like
thanks, Twyman.
Feels like you forgot someone there. Probably not.
Eh.
It sounded complete to me, right?
He's so complimentary in writing. In person? Nope.
Yeah, that's very
He
true.
missed. He didn't miss anybody. We didn't miss anybody.
No, we didn't miss anyone. So there are 4 options, actually, 4 different brands that do this.
Yep.
You buy 2 Bluetooth speakers, you can pair them together. They usually have batteries in it, so hopefully that's okay. But Ultimate Ears, which is probably my favorite brand, the UE speakers, makers of like the Mega Boom, and the one I have is the Hyper Boom, which is a giant speaker that gets way loud.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I got
you
one
can.
of those too.
Oh, I love it so much. They're pricey though.
They're pricey. I think they're like $400 or $500 a piece.
But the Hyperboom is. You can get smaller speakers that are much cheaper. But anyway, those are pairable. JBL, they make some pairable speakers as well, Bluetooth speakers. Sony and Bose.
They all do that kind of link up wirelessly together.
Yeah,
So-
and all those brands are great. So
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
yeah,
I mean,
So-
unless you get whatever their cheapest option is, which I wouldn't recommend doing. You get something a little more on their, up their scale if you want to watch movies with it, so it has some depth.
if you really want to hear it outside, go for the Hyperboom. You'll be spending a lot of money, but boy, will you enjoy it. Just make sure that they're pairable when you're searching. If you're going for the smaller speakers, there's really not one brand I choose over the other. So it's really up to you and what kind of deal you can get.
Yeah, if you want to go super duper spendy, which I'm sure you don't for this setup, but Sony's A9 series is actually all wireless. And so you just connect its little puck receiver to your projector or whatever, and you have 4 speakers that just need power for surround sound and a subwoofer.
Surround sound for camping outside.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
It would be cool, but yeah, I mean, you're talking, I think, like $2,400 for that setup. Fully complete with the big subwoofer and everything.
That makes the Hyperboom seem affordable.
It does, right? See, it's all about comparison. So yeah,
Maybe
a lot of good options out there.
He'll splurge on that. That's why
No,
he
he
goes with
won't.
all the other old tech so that he can get the good audio tech.
It's like,
I
I'll
see.
watch this
Okay.
on Laserdisc.
Is
but
he
it
going to bring his
has good
Laserdisc camping?
sound. I mean, you never know.
You never,
Yeah.
you know what? Who knows?
Nice. Well, thanks for writing in, Twyman. Always good to hear from you.
That's it.
Anything else? Oh, that's
Nope.
it. Okay,
Nope.
cool. All right, let's kick it off with announcements. Apple's got an announcement about their announcement.
Yeah, it's like a pre-trailer like they have nowadays. They have an event next Monday.
They kind of
That's
snuck this
the
in, right?
30th. Yeah, they
They
snuck
kind of
this in.
snuck this in pretty quick.
It was just announced today, the day of recording, which is a Tuesday. But it's rumored that they're going to announce new iMacs. Some people think there'll be a new M3 chip in there. Other people don't, because if they release an M3 chip now, their Apple Vision Pro, which isn't releasing till next year, has an M2 chip, so it'll make that look less desirable. But it's possible they will. Some people think the MacBook Pros will be updated, others don't. So it's kind of up in the air at this point, which is not usual for Apple announcements.
Yeah, big splash. That's what they've done. A lot of speculation.
Big splash is what it says.
No, scary fast.
Oh,
Yeah, scary fast. But
The
this
next one should be
kinda-
called Big Splash, though. And they should hold it in SeaWorld.
well, I was going to say, if they're going to do something big splash, whatever they show off has to be water, at least water resistant. Every device in that showcase
Yeah.
should be water
Yes.
resistant if they're going to go with big splash.
Yeah, maybe 10 years ago. That's not really newsworthy anymore.
They don't make an iPad
For-
that's water resistant.
For
right
Apple. For Apple,
Why would
it
you
is.
need it? Okay, I see the appeal.
now. You want to
All
use
right.
your iPad in a steam room or in, if you have a jacuzzi or something or in the tub.
A
Yeah.
floatable
Okay.
iPad?
Doesn't need to float. Just be, well, it would be nice if it floated, but I wouldn't. It's not going to float. But it should at least be,
That's not a thing right now. They don't have a waterproof.
uh-uh.
Oh
iPad?
no, but I guarantee
a
there's like the
case.
waterproof case thing that
Yeah.
also floats. Or that probably exists.
What?
Yeah, I'm sure that exists.
Isn't it just the scaled up version of an iPhone? I mean, shouldn't it be the same? Anyway.
Well,
Owen,
you know,
you don't
as-
know
Sorry.
what you're talking about.
Sorry,
buddy.
they'll invent it and they'll reinvent it in a year or so.
Oh, and as things get bigger, all parts of it get bigger, so the holes are bigger. And you can't waterproof holes that big, I'm sure is the problem.
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
with
so
iPads.
wait.
No way.
If
False.
something gets bigger, everything else gets bigger too. I haven't found that to be the case.
On the thing.
On
What thing?
I don't know.
Jaron, you kind of, it's one of those need not apply things, so you're good. You'll never know.
Let's
You'll
see.
never know.
What other announcements? That was the announcement of the announcements. Other announcements this week. We have some more announcements about NACS chargers.
Yep. The holdouts that we were talking about last week are now there. BMW, Toyota.
Yeah.
The only people left at this point are Volkswagen and Stellantis. Stellantis, however you say that, who owns Dodge, Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep.
I'm surprised. I didn't even think, like, I had totally forgotten about Volkswagen. I thought they moved over to NACS a
Yeah.
while ago for some reason, but
Does
They're-
Stellantis have an E-line? Did they have do they have a big need for it? Like Jeeps and stuff?
Jeep, there is an electric Jeep
Okay.
that's plug-in.
Huh. Okay. What's it
Is it
using?
plug-in hybrid?
Yeah, it's plug-in hybrid.
Okay, so it's not fully electric.
I think they have a fully electric one too, 4xe.
Where's
4xe.
Twyman
I'm
when we need
pretty
him?
sure. Well, he would
Right.
just turn his nose up to it.
Wait, at least he would know, right?
Well,
Yeah.
he can use his cool audio system to make Jeep noises under the hood.
Nah.
Just a brrr,
That'd be so cool if you could make your own noises
Ford was
for
thinking
your
about,
for your car.
Ford was thinking about doing that for their electric cars, an acoustic system to mimic the sounds of an engine for their electrical
Well, like-
cars.
Right now, Tesla and even like the Bolt.
Yeah, it has this kind of weird hum noise that
Yeah,
it projects out.
The Tesla makes like a UFO noise when you're backing up.
If I could make my own noise, I would just, you know what I would do.
Yeah,
Dude.
obviously.
I see that should be a software enhancement where you could just be like, look out. Look out. Look out.
Watch
Just-
out. Watch out.
Yeah.
The Teslas
Move.
do make that noise.
Get out
actually,
the
Tony.
way.
But you have to actually push the button for it to make
Yeah,
that noise.
I know that. It's
Wait, the Teslas can make a fart noise?
yeah.
Yeah, they can. I've never tried it.
You haven't tried it?
Oh.
There's
Sharon.
there's so much of Elon Musk that I don't agree with and that frustrates me, but there's also a fair amount that
Like as a
I'm just
man, as a man, I don't really like him. But as a 14-year-old, he seems pretty funny, right?
Well, that's
Like-
the problem. He hasn't progressed past being
Yeah.
14
Yeah, but he has $1 billion and he makes cars, so of course it's going
because
to have
he
a
isn't
fart
afraid
button.
of risk. That's why. And he hires
Yep.
smart people.
And speaking of Elon Musk and his 14-year-old sense of humor, he posted on Twitter this week some sort of railing against Wikipedia, and then followed it up with, if Wikipedia changes its name to Diapedia, if Dickopedia, he will pay the guy that runs it or the company that runs it $1 billion.
No way.
A bill, a cool
That
bill.
guy
change it to
just likes
Dickopedia.
to pull levers. That
Yep.
guy. Oh,
Well,
can you imagine the
he
owner of
hates
Wikipedia? But
Yeah.
can you imagine the owner of Wikipedia is like, I've always wanted to get out.
Oh, dude.
A bill.
I can't say that I like to feel like I have morals and no, I feel like I have morals. I like to feel like I have, what's the word I'm looking for?
There's a line. Like you've got some
not-
ethical.
Not
you know.
ethics, not morals. There's another word that I can't think of. Like I stand for something, but I'll tell you what, offered me a cool billion to sell that, something like that. Be like,
That's
yep,
pushing on those boundaries.
there you go, bud.
That one of my
You'll do
I,
anything.
I know.
Not
I know you guys
anything.
aren't. I know you
but
guys aren't on TikTok.
pretty close.
I know you guys aren't on TikTok, but that's one of my favorite ones when the girlfriend comes up to their boyfriend and goes, "Would you punch me in the face for $1 billion?" And without even looking
Yes.
up, the guy
No
goes,
hesitation.
"I would back over you for $1 billion. I would hit you in the face with a snow shovel. $1 billion?
$1 billion? Do you understand?
A
$1
billion?
billion?
I'll buy you a new face.
Yeah. Yeah.
A cool bill to change it to Dickopedia. Oh man, can't say that I wouldn't.
Should I bleep? Do I need to bleep that out?
I
Nah.
don't think so.
We'll
I mean,
change it to Decopedia.
People-
Wikipedia.
People's names are Dick.
That's true. He just wants to name the website after a friend named Richard.
Richardopedia doesn't flow off.
Richardopedia.
That it just doesn't flow as well.
Not quite the
I
same.
get it.
But yeah, that
He just
was,
likes to pull. He just likes to pull levers
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
just see what people are gonna do.
And I mean, the chances. First of all, I don't think the guy that runs Wikipedia would do it because
$1 billion.
He's got self-respect. That's why.
maybe that's the word I was trying to think.
Yeah.
of. I like to think that I have self-respect
Until
but if
somebody's
someone
like, "That's
wants to
$1
offer-
billion,
like,
Tony."
If you legally change your name to, I would say things, but I have to bleep them out, then I will pay you $1 billion. Done.
If somebody's like, "Tattoo genitalia on your forehead," I'd be like, "Okay, how
All right.
many? How many? Like just one? Okay, okay."
Okay. Well, you know, I can
Anything
always-
to distract him from his failing company.
I could.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it feels right now at this
Yeah.
point. You know.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of that as well, he apparently had a rough day doing the Q3 earnings for Tesla.
It was not a good outlook, I hear.
I didn't put any of these things on the notes, and I should have. But,
I wasn't even talking about that company. I was talking about the other failing
Oh
company.
no, yeah, I figured you were talking about Twitter first, but also Tesla posted their its Q3 earnings, and it was lower than their low expectation or whatever.
Ooh, that's
their
never
low
good.
forecast, and it fell like 13% that day.
I saw. Yeah,
Dang, that's
I
bad.
saw.
it
I
was
saw
huge.
some headline that was like he basically said we dug our own grave with the Cybertruck, and they're pushing it out, and they have to change the delivery date now.
Yeah, speaking of which, the delivery date now is November 30th of this year.
1
Does
week
not
or 1
mean-
month.
Does not mean you'll be getting your Cybertruck that day. It means a couple lucky people will, and you will
Yeah,
likely be getting
exactly.
yours months down the road. But at least it's a shipping date, right? For a extremely
Do
ugly.
you feel like that? Do you feel like that was like the rich kids Kickstarter, right? Like, hey, anybody want to fund the Cybertruck? Like, and people just did it. Like they held the money, right? He has the
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Like, or did you have to pay the whole thing to pre-order?
No,
or
it was like 500, I think.
Oh,
no,
okay, okay.
They weren't getting anything significant from those pre-orders.
Yeah, compared to what it actually costs.
Right.
No. But I mean it did add up, I'm sure, to
Well, they had a ton of pre-orders.
Millions of dollars for sure.
Yeah, but it'll take a lot.
I mean, this thing may go down like
to develop it.
This thing may go down as the other stainless steel piece of Americana, you know, the
Like
DeLorean.
the old DeLorean.
The DeLorean, also stainless steel.
You'll find a barely used Cybertruck in a barn in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Be like
20
years from now.
Like this one still has the bar for the dashboard, so you can have drinks while you're driving.
That's right. Yeah, apparently the Q3 was down 37% from 1 year earlier. Their Q3 earnings, smallest profits reported in 2 years. And not only was he saying they kind of dug their own grave with the Cybertruck and whatnot, but he was also blaming the economy in general and the rising interest rates and things like that.
And his handling of Twitter. Come on, that's got to play into his
No,
truck
seriously,
score.
I bet there's so many rich people who love owning a Tesla who got totally turned off by Musk and like, okay, I want to get a Rivian now.
Yeah,
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
dude, have you heard about the repair fees for Rivian though? The entire outer shell is one whole piece, and so like if you get a dent anywhere, you have to replace the whole shell for like $15,000.
it's more than that actually. But I also saw an article that showed a person that just went to a body shop that knew what they were doing.
Yeah, true.
And they were able to repair it,
But
the traditional style.
True, but most insurance companies are just writing them off because of that.
Which is crazy.
Because the documented repair is to change the panel.
Right.
And so they just write them off as like that's more than the value of the truck or more than whatever value. It's crazy.
Super crazy. All right, let's see what else. Let's talk about this device looked pretty cool, and I am sorely tempted to maybe sink some money into one. It's called the X-Real Air 2 Pro.
What? You want one of these?
Did you read about it?
I mean, I'm sure I know about the original, but
well, this one's even better.
The use case
original.
though, what's your use case for it?
You want the honest answer or a fake answer?
I'm kind of nervous about the honest answer.
So that's the one you want?
Yeah.
So I can hook it up to my ROG Ally and play games on the couch while I watch a TV show with my wife and not have to stare down at the tiny screen.
These are the eyeball glasses.
Yeah.
You're missing it.
So,
yeah, honey.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So
that is a whole new level of lazy, Tony. I have to respect that.
I asked if you wanted the real answer.
Yep.
You said yes.
Yep.
Actually, you didn't, but I gave it to you anyway. So they look like sunglasses, but with really thick stems.
Why are you wearing sunglasses inside, Tony?
Well, here's the thing. The Pro ones have, what do they call it? Electrochromatic dimming or something like that.
They go up and down depending.
Yeah, the lens will darken or lighten based on settings that you.
That's cool.
I'm not saying
electrochromatic.
I just have never met anybody that looks good in those color changing glasses.
No.
He's not going to wear this in public.
You control how dark or light it is.
So it's not light sensitive.
No, it's a setting that you do. Yeah, it's freaking rad.
Okay.
So it comes with basically tiny little screens that project the image down in front of your eyes, and they are micro OLED with 1920 by 1080 resolution per eye.
So probably like same tech used in VR headsets, probably.
Very similar, I'm thinking. Goes up to 500 nits of brightness, which is...
That's bright right up against your eye. Holy cow.
I've read, they actually have some reviews out for these already. I didn't link to a review. I just linked to the article from The Verge that talks about them. But the reviews I read said, unless you're out in full daylight, it's perfectly, like, it looks great indoors in the shade. And if you're out in full daylight, you get the Pro version, so you can dim the dim the lenses, and it darkens it so you can see it then. The regular version doesn't have the electrochromatic dimming, so it has a cover that you can just put over it, like clip-on sunglasses on some regular glasses that you get or whatever.
So is it the same image on both lenses?
Yes and no. That's what it is. If it's in 2D mode, but it also has a 3D mode, so it could parallax them or whatever the term is for that.
I'm gonna buy this as a health solution because looking down at your.
That's what I'm saying. It hurts my neck eventually.
Hurts your neck. Was that the other answer? So the first one was so I can watch TV stealth mode, but the other one is it's an ergonomic function. Is that what you're...
That's it. It's a health thing. Bet I can get health insurance to help pay for it.
Heck yeah.
Can you expense it at work if it's like a health gadget?
Exactly.
Well, I'm thinking use it instead of monitors.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it hooks up to anything. Windows.
It's just Bluetooth?
It USB-C. So anything, but it also has, you can buy an extra wireless adapter so it can go from your laptop wirelessly to the headset. And
is it battery powered or is there a cord that has to be attached at all times?
It would be, I believe it's a cord has to be attached, but the receiver part has the battery built into it. So you do have a cable coming down to your pocket or whatever, either way.
Down your sleeve,
Yeah.
Old high school style.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is because I haven't seen anything that talks about battery life on it, so I'm pretty sure it has to be plugged into something. But,
and what's the refresh rate on
120 hertz.
Oh, serious? Wow.
Yeah, it goes up to 120 hertz. The only thing I haven't been able to find is if it supports VRR, and I would highly doubt it that it supports variable refresh rate.
If it did, though, that'd be pretty sweet for PC gaming.
That's
just
what
like
I mean.
Sit back in your chair.
That's what I'm talking about. With the Ally, just lean back on the couch.
Okay, Tony, you convinced me.
Yep. And the price is not crazy, but not cheap either. The Pro you're looking at $449, and the regular is $399. So not crazy, but also definitely not
Yeah,
an instant impulse buy territory.
For $100 cheaper, I could almost impulse buy that.
I can hear our listeners telling you to do it, Tony.
I know. I can hear it too.
I can hear our patrons going, Tony, do it. So I think that's all the justification you need.
That's all I need.
I agree.
Right
this
now.
is like a new class of gadget we haven't reviewed before on the show.
That's what I mean. It is a new class of gadget that the
Wearables.
closest thing I've had to this is the Quest 2, and I guess I didn't use that very much, so maybe this is a bad idea too.
Well, no, because
it was
the
bulky.
Quest 2 it hurts your head, and you have to
and
hook up
heavy.
your computer every time.
It's
That's
opposite.
true.
It pulls your head down more.
Very different. Very different.
I want to know the wife score too, like how much she accepts you being on the couch with those on while playing a game and watching a show at the same time.
Like how long?
She'd be 100% fine with it because I already do that with the ROG Ally, and she's usually on her phone. Unless we're watching a show that requires concentration, we'll put on something that is just kind of that we only have to pay 75% of our attention to, or 50%. And she even does it on some shows that require attention. She sits
Jared,
there on our
this
phone.
is a kidless conversation. So it's not fair because if I tried that, my kids would be. It's like they can smell the lack of attention. If I'm, they're like, Dad's not giving me any attention. He's giving 100% to something else.
Why can't I play with my Rubik's Cube if you get to play with your phone?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh,
wait, is that what your kid says?
Yeah.
Are you telling me he can't play with his Rubik's Cube while they watch his TV?
Dude, he's addicted.
Oh, so just in general.
Yeah.
Stop it.
He could do that for literally 10 hours a day.
Holy.
You got to slow the roll.
Yeah, that's
kids
excessive.
can smell extra attention. And they're like,
They gotta have
how's he splitting 75 between TV and gaming? That 25 should be mine.
Yeah, if I try to play with my Ally when the kids are around, if they're doing something completely different, even if they're on a different floor, as soon as I turn it on, suddenly they're behind me.
Yeah.
Can I play? Can I play?
What are you doing, Dad?
No, you can't. Get away.
I enjoy the 10 minutes that my kids are in the bathroom, like taking a bath, because I could just go get on my phone for a minute and be like, yeah, have fun playing in the bathtub, be alone. The other one, though, because there's two of them, they just...
Well, that was your mistake.
I know! Not a mistake. They're not mistakes. I love you, kids. I'll never make that mistake again. You're 10 out of 10s.
Ouch.
10 out of 10s. You're an
Best 8
upgrade.
out of 10 mistake I've ever made.
They're upgrades from the previous models.
I was going to say, hang on. Those were the
Prototypes.
The two new
Prototypes.
ones. The two new ones weren't around when he was giving out the 8 out of 10 scores.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
he can say 10 out of 10 for these
I
ones.
learned my lesson
wow.
there. 10 out of 10 would do again.
I feel so bad for the older kids. Wow.
They're fine. Prototypes are always like shelved.
I mean, are they with it enough to understand that they're prototypes?
If I'm sure they're going to listen to this. My son has been listening, so listen. Prototype 2 V2.
Prototype 1.1.
Yeah, prototype 1.1. Yeah, you're great.
Daddy loves
You're
you
good.
very much.
I do. Daddy loves what you made. What you helped me
man.
accomplish. I'm just digging deeper. Anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do one of your stories, Owen. Smart plate thingy. What do we got going on here?
I read this, and here's the thing. This article is too long. In fact, all of the articles on
Ars Technica,
they were
I wish
so...
they would shorten it by like 5 to 20 paragraphs.
I was like, exactly. I was like, man, I'm gonna get blasted for not reading the 4th paragraph. So I kept going, and the 7th paragraph, and the 8th, and I was like, you know what, stupid.
Holy cow! This is
so
a long article.
All of them that I clicked on, but so we're gonna give you the first 3 paragraphs here. This is a plate. It's a cool plate. It's a smart plate. It's a plate thingy.
What makes it smart?
What kind of plate? A plate you eat from, or
It is a plate you
armor?
eat from. It's a plate you eat from. This is going to be at restaurants all over. I can feel it. And you will take this plate, and it will automatically, using electricity of some sort, to quote Captain America, to move liquids around the plate.
Now,
To mix sauces, to visually enhance your meal, move your leaves around, and generally...
Well, so it's you have to like
word
stab it before it moves or something.
No, so this plate can manipulate electrons to move liquids around. Basically,
the word they use for it is electrowetting.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
don't know how I feel about that.
It has a plate.
I like it.
So I'm afraid of getting electrocuted. I thought the video at first was just a fake, but it's not. They call this thing the dancing delicacies. That's the
what I
long
call
term.
something special.
Yeah,
That
Whoa.
I have.
Whoa.
the long term goal for the so-called dancing delicacies computational food project is to move food around to make it more interesting. Cooking and eating is more than simply producing a dish and then facilitating energy intake. It's about sharing, caring, crafting, slowing down, and self-expression. Now, as they go through this article and they move away from the plate completely, because ours just felt like adding a wall of text that they had to get out, they bring up a bunch of other stuff.
They're a trusted establishment.
It's ridiculous.
So they also show and talk about a shape-changing fork. You guys want one of those? You know what the
Yes.
shape-changing fork does?
Change
It
the shape.
inflates if you eat too fast. Do you know what that does to me? I'm a fast eater. I have to
too.
I consciously slow down around people because I'm like wasting my time eating right now. I could be doing so many. I could be living my life, Lois. So it's like Then there's another one that changes color based on the conductivity. A fork that changes color, red or green, based on the conductivity of the food you're eating.
To what end?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like our society tipped over at some point. It's like a turtle on its back that's just like, got nothing better to do.
Seriously, you know what they haven't mentioned at all on this about food? flavor?
Nothing.
Does flavor matter to these
Yep.
people? It's just presentation.
Here's another one. Sonic straws. You ever heard Sonic straws? They play a tune when you suck through them.
I've been to Sonic and I've used their straws.
Not-
and I don't remember
Not
this happening.
This is Sonic straws, and they interactive cups that play different sounds when drinking any beverage through its 2 straws. Yeah. I didn't
Wow,
read this
Imagine
one.
how much more
Sorry.
annoying your kids could be while you
Oh my gosh,
while you get
right?
your 2 minutes of silence while they're eating.
Yeah, that's like they're like, you know what? There's a small gap right there where there's no noise. We need to fill that.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Here's another one. I scrolled down. I didn't know there was more. I didn't even see this one. We Scream, in which 2 wirelessly connected 3D printed ice cream cones allow users to interact with musical sounds that are generated through the act of eating ice cream together.
Does the ice cream taste good?
I think you BYOI.
Does it
think
matter?
you think you bring your own ice cream and put it in the cones.
Of course it matters.
So you use
so
the
these aren't edible cones.
No.
Oh, so what's the point?
So,
That now you're
Just-
getting it, Jaron. Now you're getting it.
I see now.
Then they finally come back at the end of the article and talk about this plate again, which is basically just a plate that moves stuff around and to help you a taste ballet.
So the food that moves around has to be on top of liquid. That
it either has
shuttles
to be
it
on
around
top
like a bus.
or it is the liquid. They're
Yeah,
talking
it has
about
to be
sauce
a
mixing.
liquid.
So like it's like, oh, here is your olive oil and here is your balsamic vinegar, and then the plate will have them swirl together to make that dipping sauce you get for like Italian bread sometimes.
Okay.
So
kinda
that
like
saves
that.
you
Like-
2 seconds.
But I
It's
feel
just
like
it's
pouring
the
balsamic and olive oil.
I
These are ways
I
to
did
do
just
it.
name the only
Yeah,
thing
seriously.
I could think of, unless it's gonna be like mixing fry sauce for me or something. I don't know. Like here's your ketchup and mustard or ketchup and mayo and
Maybe if you can separate like the exact measurements to make the perfect kind of fry sauce.
they did say that
Sure.
too. They did say that
Okay.
too, that it could be more precise measurements for sauces.
I want to
But-
see them take sauces that have mixed together and separate them back out
That's
into
what
their
you
pure
yeah.
forms.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like
That's
using
what I wanna see.
the harmonics. I don't think you could do that. But hey, if there's a company that's going to do it, it's probably going to be these guys. They seem to have a lot of time on their hands. So,
Wow.
There they go.
All right.
so
I think you've seen everything.
Just watch. This is going to be the technology that ushers in an era of world peace, and you're going to be eating your words
know.
on this plate.
Off of the plate.
I'm
Yep.
feeling that. I feel that in the universe tingle right now. I never make, and I should never mock anything.
No, we should mock all things. Let's see. Here's something that can be mocked. Qualcomm is trying to get Windows back in the ARM CPU business.
Hey, this actually. No.
Come on.
Ooh, Qualcomm, you fools.
No,
Windows on
this,
ARM
this
is
looks
baloney.
interesting.
It is,
So
it's
Qual-
trash.
yeah, right now it's horrible. And Microsoft, get your crap
Now-
together.
Now the
But-
hardware itself might be awesome, but the OS on top of
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. Qualcomm, they purchased a company called Nuvia for $1.4 billion 3 years ago, and this company was comprised of not fully of former Apple engineers, but some of them were Apple engineers who helped design Apple's silicon chips. So they are announcing their first. Well, it's not their first because they've had PC chips out for a while. They've just been trash. But they'll like you to think that it's their first PC chip. It's called the Snapdragon X Elite. It's going to be arriving next year in mid-2024. And they have, right out of Apple's playbook, the exact same type of charts that
I
show you
noticed that.
nothing of
Yeah.
what it's actually trying to say.
Yep.
But
Why would they not? They're like, it's like
Apple
made,
gets away with it. Why can't
Apple's
we?
made multiple $1 billion using this graphic.
yeah.
These charts look exactly the same. They are just garbage.
Yeah. They're claiming that their X Elite has 50% faster peak multi-threaded performance than the Apple M2. Not
That
the
is a
M2,
bold statement.
not the M2 Max or Ultra or anything like that.
okay.
Just
I
the
guess-
M2.
I guess it's not that bold.
And M2 was released a year ago, I think.
Yeah, about a year ago.
Yeah. So their M3's
You
it
know-
might come out next week. We don't know. So that, however, is still that sounds really good, right?
That's actually a huge leap, right? Like as far as what other ARM stuff is.
You got to consider the M2 is a 6-core chip, and this is a 12-core chip.
So it should be doing double.
Yeah, it's got twice as many cores.
They are claiming much more efficiency than x86 chips.
Yeah.
They call out Intel here, but it actually looks like a performance chip. It says it's 60% faster than the 14-core i7 13800H with 65% less power. Well, 65% less power matching Intel's performance, or 60% faster than Intel at the same power envelope.
Dang.
I think I smell a Windows Phone coming back to the market. Windows Mobile.
No, they're positioning this as an actual PC chip.
I don't know about that.
Like we talked before, Microsoft needs to get their crap together with Windows, because Windows OS sucks on ARM because
it's dookie.
The main draw of Windows is you can run any application from the mid-90s up until now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that on Windows on ARM at the moment.
There's no Rosetta Stone equivalent, right?
Right. Well, I think there is.
There is emulation, but it's
yeah,
crap.
It is garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. So they really need to make this performant if they want to be taken seriously with ARM. So this is exciting news. We'll see more about it next year. Hopefully Windows 12 will be a big jump there.
Yeah. Interesting that Qualcomm would take this jump without like a vehicle to drive on it, right? Like,
well, what else choice do they have? Windows is it.
That's you got to do something. I mean, it's they want to expand their market share, and they're already crushing the mobile market on anything besides Apple. And so this is the next logical step is to try to get their stuff in laptops.
Do you think that Windows and them already have something going on, or do you think this is just like a bait?
Yes, for sure.
You think
they've already been working together, guarantee, and hopefully it's good, because it would be awesome to get Apple ARM SoC battery life and power on a Windows device. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that would be great.
They have to, because like the M series laptops are just so far ahead of any Windows laptops right now. It's also been rumored that AMD and NVIDIA are working on ARM chips for Windows. But that leaves Intel out in the cold. I bet Intel's even more terrified right now than they've ever been.
They should be, especially after that ridiculous 14th gen showing.
What was that? Let's take those stickers CPUs off and put on the new stickers.
That's literally, except for the i7, that is literally what happened. So NVIDIA and AMD, this is the rumor, they've quietly begun work on ARM-based stuff to use in Windows PCs, and I think this is, at least for the NVIDIA side, I think this is 100% believable, because if you remember, a couple of years ago, NVIDIA tried to buy ARM outright, and it got shut down. So we already knew from that point that they had their sights set on some ARM architecture stuff, and they still have been doing some ARM architecture stuff with their SoCs for low power enterprise servers and or devices, as well as like the SoCs in some of the cars and whatnot that are,
and they'll likely be making it for the next Switch too. And
and that's all but confirmed that that they're going to be in the Switch 2 whenever that decides to break cover. So
for AMD, it would be relatively easy too, because they don't manufacture their own chips like Intel does. They just send a design off to TSMC, and it's not like they have to refab their factories or anything like that.
Yep. And NVIDIA is the same. It's fabless. So they just continue to do what they're doing and pour more money and resources and talent into the ARM architecture stuff and go forward. So supposedly maybe by 2025 we'll start seeing those chips on the market.
Too far off.
No, a couple of years. That would be pretty cool.
Qualcomm also announced the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which
Yep.
is promising 30% faster CPU, which is a fairly sizable jump.
That's a good jump
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
is that your guys' threshold for GPU graphics updates?
for CPU.
Not for CPU.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
CPU, yeah, I'd say about 30%.
30% is kind of
20,
your
20 to
threshold.
30. 20 is my absolute minimum. If I'm not getting 20% uplift on a CPU, I'm not going to upgrade till the
Wait
next
till
round.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're redoing their core arrangements. So instead of what was it before?
It was like one super
One
fast
big-
core,
Yeah, one big
3
core.
medium cores,
Yep.
and 4 power saver cores, if I remember correctly.
Yep, you're right. Now it's one big core, 5 medium cores, and 2 small cores.
Oh, all right.
So they mainly talked about the AI capabilities of it, which is so hard to gauge. Like, okay, what does that actually mean? No one really knows.
It's a little of a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
you know.
Agreed.
They didn't really mention the GPU. They've typically been pretty good on the GPU side of things, but it's supposed to be 25% faster on the GPU side of things, and they already did ray tracing. I believe in Gen 2.
No, I don't think so. I think the only mobile SoC that has ray tracing right now is Samsung's garbage.
One and Apple's A17.
Oh,
Pro.
yeah. The new one from Apple too. But yeah, I think if they have ray tracing, I think this is Qualcomm's first ray tracing hardware. I think. I'm going to look.
Well, I'm done with my story, so you better.
Oh,
look
that's
later.
the end? Okay, never mind. I'll look later. The other thing that so there's a lot of Qualcomm news because they had an event today or yesterday, I think it was today, where they announced all these new things. And the other thing that they announced that I thought was pretty cool is the new, what are they calling it here? Qualcomm S7 Pro for wireless. Yep, for wireless audio stuff.
Buds.
Yeah,
See,
your earbuds and things
earbuds.
like that.
So Tony's excited.
Oh, yeah. So what makes these special, and this really seems kind of pie in the sky to me. I don't know if
Right.
I believe it yet, but they're claiming that this will incorporate Wi-Fi into the earbuds so that you can either use Wi-Fi on your mobile device that supports it. So it'd have to be a Snapdragon Gen 3. What are they calling it? Snapdragon
8 Gen 3.
8 Gen 3 or whatever comes after that will be the only things that support it so far. And this earbud platform or this audio platform will use Wi-Fi, a form of Wi-Fi to give you pure
Unlimited range, right?
actual lossless audio.
What's the battery life like on that?
That's
Isn't Wi-Fi less efficient than Bluetooth?
Oh, it's far less efficient. It uses a lot more power, but
you
they're
get
saying,
one song over this Wi-Fi.
That's what I swear. But they are saying that the way they're doing it, it will be able to deliver 96 kilohertz lossless audio over Wi-Fi and still get the same amount of playback as Bluetooth.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so 24-bit 96K kilohertz lossless audio. Right now, the best you can do on Bluetooth is half of that, 24-bit 48 kilohertz audio. But the other crazy thing about this is you mentioned unlimited range, Owen.
Yeah.
And that's not because the range is amazing, but it's because this supposedly will be able to hand off to Wi-Fi networks if you leave your phone somewhere and walk away. If you're on the local Wi-Fi network, it will grab it. If you've set it up to use that Wi-Fi network, if you've logged in, it will grab that music and continue to stream it. I would assume from the device over the Wi-Fi network to your earbuds.
It's like strapping on some Sonos, plays to the side of your head and just walking around.
That sounds cool for like 5 years ago, but honestly, like normal Bluetooth earbuds are so good now. I've never had it skip, like in my entire house. Have you?
Oh, wow.
You can go anywhere in your house and stay connected via Bluetooth?
Well,
wow.
It's not so much that I have had it skip, but it's because if I leave my phone in freaking like the other side of the house,
right.
But I don't do that. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing is
We've all
become
been programmed, right, to keep
yeah,
it
exactly.
with you.
We've become so accustomed and so programmed to keep your phone with you that,
Like,
you know.
when I was on the Jabras, like, I had to even keep it in a specific pocket. Like,
Yeah.
their
Serious?
Bluetooth.
Wow.
So
Things have gotten better since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're saying it'll work on 2.45 and 6 gigahertz bands.
wow.
Yeah. And
There's got to be some sort of magic. What's added to the BS section? Because there's got to
it
be.
almost feels like
You
it because
know?
these are some serious pie in the sky
Well,
statements. But
The problem is Apple devices won't support this because they don't license Qualcomm chips.
bingo.
And iOS devices are, I think, more than half of the population in the US anyway. And so any device maker, they're not going to support this because it won't work on iOS devices. Maybe for like lossless audio files, like the really expensive
It'll be-
headphones.
Isn't Android
No,
still crushing the market on Apple? I mean, worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that this will gain traction though because there's lots of companies out there that already use the current platform for Qualcomm for their Bluetooth streaming.
And the US might not be the only market here. I mean, if they've got a
Well,
worldwide
yeah,
market,
it's not, but
I don't think this is going to be a problem except for
I don't think it's going to be mainstream, but I think it'll be pretty big for all the audiophiles.
and I'm sitting here just thinking, man, would it be worth it to switch from iPhone to Android?
Today was the
Dude,
first day I
you
thought about
can't
doing the opposite
tell.
ever.
With all, well, I'm just saying with all the improvements that Qualcomm is doing with this next gen stuff, it looks like it might actually be kind of compelling. So I don't know. I probably won't just out of laziness, but
Today
this
was the
does
first
look
day I
really
thought about
cool.
switching the opposite, going to Apple.
What? Why?
Yeah, because I wanted to mess with my AirPods, and I was thinking about getting an Apple Watch because they're better. They just are.
Telling you.
And I was like, man, I just might as well get a new. I should just go iPhone. I should just give up. What am I holding on to?
What
And then
are
I-
you holding on to?
Think about it.
And then my medication kicked in, and I felt much better, and realized that was just my daily. That was just my daily expression of stress and anxiety, existential dread. So
Look, I
got over it real quick.
I dumped on Apple for a long time, and I still do when they deserve it. But man, there's something about just having one unified ecosystem for your mobile gadgets.
But
that
side loading.
is just, yeah, when's the last time you actually used side loading?
Have you siloed
never.
anything?
No.
See, that's what I mean. Like,
for me, I would siloed emulators and be very happy with that. That's what I would do.
not me. I don't care about that. That was the thing that finally pushed me over to the edge to get a phone. I was just like, I don't use any of these features that I tout
gloat
so
about. Yeah.
loudly and gloat about. I don't even use any of them.
I know.
That plus
But you
the
could.
Samsung I had was garbage at the time.
Yeah,
so,
true.
but yeah, I don't know. Think about it, man. Think about it. It's not a bad place to be. Let's see. Speaking of, I guess we'll just do my last story because it flows right into this. Owen, maybe you don't want to switch back to Apple because the IR blaster will ride again.
We were just talking about this in our Discord. Somebody brought it up, and I said it will ride again. It will come back. Tell me.
Like a
Supposedly,
phoenix rising out of the ashes.
yep.
And it's the OnePlus.
The OnePlus 12 will have an IR blaster.
That's an instant buy from Owen.
Boom!
it.
I just
He's
pre-ordered
done.
it. And
It's not even pre-order.
whatever.
Yet,
My
but he
spirit
it.
did. My spirit did. My soul pre-ordered that.
Yep. Supposedly it will have an IR blaster included, and
Control your TV.
yep.
But TVs use like Bluetooth now.
No. Control your old TV.
I haven't controlled my TV with an IR signal in ages.
Everything's CEC based off of my Apple TVs now. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
such a shill. Dang it.
Dang it.
So yeah, there you go. You might have another chance to have
Okay.
yourself an IR blaster.
Okay, from the two IR naysayers, what would be a use case for IR right now?
for me, the only use case for IR that I could think of is pulling pranks on people that on their TVs, you know. If
Going
if
up
you're out
to
in public,
going to
you'll
a
be able to
going up to a retirement home
Yeah,
and being
you
like
know.
turning off somebody's changing their channel.
change the channel on the TV and the Buffalo Wild Wings that you're eating in.
Ooh.
No, I take
like
that back.
that.
I use IR every single day because I have a old Logitech hub that I use to automatically turn on my OLED
Oh,
monitor
that's right, you do.
whenever I push a button on my keyboard, and also turns on my speakers, my bookshelf speakers for my PC,
But
all
not
at
from your
the same
phone.
time.
Oh, but if you could integrate IR into your smart app so that it just sensed when you were geo-fenced around your computer.
Well, I could do that anyway with
Yeah, he can
smart
already
home
do
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I connected my Logitech hub to my smart home.
The hub's got
So
an
when
IR blaster. That's what's sending
Yep.
the signal.
Oh, so you can but you can walk into the room and it like turns on.
If I wanted to, but I don't want to do that because I walk into my office for other reasons than just turning on the computer.
Plus IR is a two-way thing, on and off with the same function. So if you walked in, it's
That's
just
true.
somebody walked in to talk to you and turn your monitor off.
No. That it depends on what the function is. Like, there's a separate on command for my TV and a separate off command.
Very good.
All right, let's talk about some ding dong trying to use AI as in a criminal defense case.
Have you heard? I've never heard of this case, so this was new to me because I don't follow this. But do you guys know who Pras is? PRAS
not.
apostrophe. Have you guys ever heard of the Refugees?
No,
The band
sorry.
Refugees.
No.
Sorry, not the Refugees. The Fugees. Fugees. You heard
Oh.
of the Fugees? Sorry.
I feel like I have heard of the
Refugees.
Fuji.
Okay.
I'm like,
The Fugees.
Which
This guy.
refugees?
There you go. Sorry, I got that messed up. I
We have
openly
the
admit that.
Fugees and we have the Refugees.
And
Which
they're
ones is
it's
it?
a rebrand. Anyway, the Fugees rapper Pras. I'm just trying to catch up on the cool hip hop culture here. Anyway, there's some lawsuit. He was funneling money. I don't really care about that. But the best part is that he's
His
trying
lawyer-
to his lawyer tried
Not
to
very
use
smart.
his lawyer outsourced his closing statements to a company called BIA, Business Intelligence Associates, that have a new AI legal assistant.
Ruh-roh.
It didn't go well. He's trying to get his case reopened because he was convicted. Because they were like,
Jeez.
what the?
we
Did they
get a
not
mistrial?
read? Did they
I don't
not
know.
read the closing statement before they
I
actually?
don't think they did because it
went
didn't
to
go
court?
well.
And in conclusion, my client is
Yeah.
guilty.
Hot dog.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Definitely not a hot dog. So, anyway, so it's just funny because this guy's lawyer tried to do this, and it's coming out that not only did he outsource this to his buddy's firm, BIA, he also has a financial stake in that company. After the case, he's the defense attorney, by the way. After the case, and he's convicted and everything, that company comes out and talks about how their system was used to reduce the system turned hours or days of legal work into seconds.
And lost.
Lost horribly. Of course, anybody can turn hours and days into seconds if they're just like nonsense words. Like, here's some
Yeah, you know what?
wingdings.
Yeah.
Like, the paper's blank, sir. I'm just trying to cut down on the time. You know, doesn't matter.
Blank, but you know how long it took me to fill it?
Yeah,
No time.
Seconds. I turned days of work into seconds. Anyway,
Wow.
it didn't. The closing. They're basically claiming that the closing statement was damaging to the case. It had the opposite effect, and they're trying to get his case reopened and retried based on that. But this attorney Kenner was saying that the tool is an absolute game changer for complex litigation.
Sounds like it.
This is the look into the future of how cases will be conducted. I was paid to say that. Like, he should have added that right at the end. I was also paid a lot of money to say those words. So, I believe it's called Lit Assist is the name of the company is called iLevel, and it's called Lit Assist.
This sounds like a episode of Arrested Development.
It does.
Or an SNL skit or
Yeah.
something.
So, but yeah, so they've got some evidence. Basically, the unnamed corporation's address is the same address that is linked to the attorney's address for his actual legitimate attorney firm. So it's not going to go good for that guy, but just AI, there's been multiple cases where AI has been trying. There was that other, remember we talked about it. There has been a firm out there that has been helping people get out of traffic tickets and whatever using a form of AI before.
That's just a form the AI fills out.
Yeah.
It
wasn't
not,
making cases. It wasn't.
It doesn't have to provide complete structured paragraphs with evidence supporting. And
in other cases, what AI has been found to do is completely falsifying. What's the word? Precedent. Like, like citing other cases that never
don't exist.
That don't exist.
Oh yeah.
And so it sounds because
That's
ChatGPT and AI, days and hours and just
seconds.
Seconds.
Just make it up as you go
Just
along.
if you don't have to worry about truth.
Yeah.
And that's what AI's problem is, right? Like it's not supposed to be true. It's supposed to be creative, right? Like it creates.
They must have trained AI off of Donald Trump's speeches.
Oh, yeah, or
got him.
I don't know, got him. But yeah.
Well,
they probably used night court episodes.
Coming soon to Bob Loblaw's Law Blog. Cases brought to you by Bia.
Yeah. There you go. So
All right. Well, I think that's it. We're going to wrap it up after that. Thanks for listening.
Whoa. The biggest story, net neutrality is back.
Huh?
There you go.
Yeah.
Did they vote it back in?
Well,
They did.
FCC?
This is a Ars Technica story. We don't have time to go over the whole thing. But
that's just it. Net neutrality is coming back.
Which is super
Finally.
great. Like the deadlock, we know that the deadlock in FCC has been broken. We got ourselves a 3-2 advantage there politically. So they are doing what is good for people.
This is good for the consumer, not good for the companies who want to take all of the money, such as Comcast. But it's great for the consumer.
Yep.
Excellent news. Excellent news. Brought to you by artificial intelligence. Was this this was kind of a foregone conclusion, though, wasn't it? Knowing who
It took way longer than it should have.
They were locking out the vote, trying to stop a new person from getting.
And it'll be
advantage.
reversed in like a year or two.
Probably,
yeah, right.
Yeah, a couple years down the road, it'll be reversed. Waste of time. All right. Okay, now we're done for sure. Thanks for listening. Before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/gadgetspot. If you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out, which Jaron has right now.
The shout out. Thanks to David Roshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffleball Tony, our tech daddies. Thank you. Upskilled Triantula, Andy Bird, Be the 8-year-old, Travis Johnson. Check out the new Baldur's Gate 3 custom tech stickers on Pieman Graphics on Etsy. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Nathan Moscas, Matt Nelson. Y'all should check out Hendrix Craftsman on Instant TikTok, me, Speechless Like a Japanese Video Game, ... Josh D, Dick Messerly, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, Joe, There's No Place Like G28X0Y0Z0, Ryan M, and Adam Hecht. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we're done. Wait, Lando's not here to take us out. What are we going to do?
I guess I get to... Am I going to do something? Should I just do the old standby?
You know what? Do whatever you feel like. Just get us out of here, Owen.
Hey, we know you care.
No, I wasn't good.
No, we hope you care. What do I do here? I'm lost. Be an end user.
Okay, that's good.